everyone. Welcome to the 22nd day of Mindful March. We hope you're enjoying our classes this month. Today will be an hour class and we'll be working on the last four chakras. We went over the first three on Saturday, and today we'll be going over the last four chakras, what signs there are if they're imbalanced, and what poses help open up these chakras. So just get into a comfortable seated position and we'll get started in a few minutes. Begin to calm your mind and relax your body. And if any thoughts come into your mind during practice, just focus on your breath and let those thoughts pass. Taking a deep inhale in through your nose and exhaling out through your nose. With each inhale and exhale, trying to relax the body. Make sure when you're in a seated position, you can be sitting on a block or a blanket. Make sure that you're grounding down through your sit bones. Elongate your spine and just roll your shoulders forward and bring those shoulder blades back and down. Reach out through the crown of your head and you can just bring a slight tilt, bringing your chin towards your chest. Your eyes can be opened or closed. Your hands are comfortable resting on your lap. And taking deep inhales and exhales. Didn't join in the class on Saturday, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. We worked on the first three chakras, which is the lower triangle. So we worked on the root chakra, which is helps you with grounding. And then we moved up to the root chakra is at the pelvic floor at your coccyx. And then we worked on the sacral chakra, which is your emotions and your intimacy, which is located right at your tailbone in the solar plexus chakra, which is right at the navel, right below the navel actually. And excuse me, and that is where our wisdom and our inner power comes from, is the solar plexus. And today we'll be working on the heart, throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. So we'll go over each of those individually. Those three are the upper triangle, and the heart connects the lower triangle and upper triangle. And what the chakras are, it's energy. Discs of energy which run along the spine, connecting your lower triangle to your upper triangle. So we'll begin, and just gently close your eyes and take a deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Take another deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. And one more, take a deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Gently open your eyes take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Really lengthen your spine, reach out through your fingertips for a full body stretch. Grounding down through your sit bones. Press your palms together, bring your hands to heart center. Slight bow to your head. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, you can do that now. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, slowly release your hands by your side. Now, the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra, that is represents your love and your healing. And it's located at the center of your chest. And it also represents self-love. Being able to love yourself and relationships with others. The color it represents is green, and the element is air. And this chakra, when it's imbalanced, you can have difficulty in relationships, lack of self-discipline, or depression. That's the fourth chakra. And then there's the fifth chakra, which is your throat chakra. And this is your communication. It's located at the center of your throat. The color it represents is blue, and the element is ether. It's the ability to speak clearly and efficiently, effectively. And if it's imbalanced, people tend to be shy, withdrawn, and it also increases anxiety. We'll work on opening the throat chakra today also. And then the sixth chakra is your third eye, which is located in the middle of your forehead, but it's between your eyebrows. And this is the center for your awareness, and it's the color it represents is indigo, and the element is light. So this is your imagination. When this is imbalanced, there's lack of direction or clarity. And then the seventh chakra, which is the last one, is the crown of the head. And the color it represents is violet. And there is no element for this one. This is your state of higher consciousness, and it's also your spirituality. If it's imbalanced, you discard what is sacred, and your mind is closed. It's not connected spiritually. So we'll be working on these chakras as we go through practice. So we'll just get started, and we'll just place your hands on your lap, and we're just going to bring our chin to our chest, and we're going to begin opening the throat for the throat chakra. So we're working on the front and back of the neck. So take a few deep breaths with your chin to your chest. And then on your next inhale, bring your gaze up towards the sky, opening the front of the throat. And then exhale, chin to chest. Match your breath to your movement, inhaling and exhaling. And next time your chin is to your chest, leave it there. And on your next inhale, just roll your left ear towards left shoulder and exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder, and exhale, chin to chest. Matching your breath to your movement. And then on your next inhale, roll your right ear towards right shoulder and exhale, chin to chest. your right shoulder. And exhale, chin to chest. And then on your next inhale, make a complete circle, inhaling on the way up and exhaling forward and down. Being careful of the back of your neck. If this is uncomfortable, you can just bring your chin to chest and focus on your breath there. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. And then bring your head back to neutral. And we're just going to place your hands on your knees. And we're going to inhale. We're going to do seated cat-cows. And this is going to open up the heart chakra. So on the inhale, you're bringing your shoulder, you're coming forward, rolling forward, bringing your shoulder blades back and down, lifting your heart, taking your gaze up. And then on the exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine, and roll back onto your pelvis. Inhale, come forward, bring your shoulder blades back, lift your chest, lift your heart, take your gaze up for cow. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, maybe roll back a little bit, bring your shoulders forward. Match your breath to your movement. We'll do 2 more rounds and we'll meet back in neutral spine. Getting the fluid moving in the spine, working on opening the heart. And now we're just going to extend our arms out to the sides. And we're going to bring our hands together in front of us. Palms are facing each other. Inhale, opening the chest, opening the heart. Exhale, bringing the palms parallel together. Working the shoulders, opening, your gaze is forward. Next time your arms are out to the side, leave them there. And we're going to work on the 6th chakra, which is the third eye. So bring your right arm under your left and bend at the elbows for eagle arms. So your right arm is under your left. The backs of your hands are together. And just place your left thumb on that third eye. You can press on the third eye, making you aware of that chakra. You're engaging your core here. You're feeling this in your shoulder blades. You're lengthening the spine, reaching out through the crown of the head. Focusing on your breath. Take a deep inhale and really lengthen that spine. And on the exhale, just begin to hinge forward. Halfway. You're not going all the way down. You're engaging your core here and just keep pressing on that third eye. Then slowly come back up to center. Release your arms, bring your arms back out by your side. And then bring that left arm under the right. Bend at the elbows and just place your right thumb on that third eye. Being conscious of the third eye. the sixth chakra. Take a few deep breaths here. And then take a deep inhale. And just begin to hinge from your hips to fold forward. Just stop where it's comfortable for you. You're not going all the way down. If you get halfway, stop there. Engage the core. And this is connecting your root chakra, your lower chakras, to the higher upper chakras. Then inhale, slowly come back up to center. Release your arms back out to the side, and then release your arms back down. So we're going to come into sat pose to seated position. Your legs are out in front of you, slight bending your knees. Ground down through your sit bones, grounding down through your root chakra. Place your palms next to you on the mat. You're pressing your palms into the mat, lengthening your spine, engaging your core, reaching out through the crown of your head. Your legs are engaged, slight bending your knees, your feet are flexed. Everything is engaged here. Pressing into the mat and really grounding down through your sit bones. And just take a few deep breaths here. Your eyes can be opened or closed. And then slowly relax everything. And now we're going to walk our hands forward to go into a forward fold. And this is also good for your sixth chakra. It's when you're forward folding, it is connecting the lower triangle, the three lower chakras. It's connecting them to the upper higher level chakras. So take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine, and on the exhale, just begin to walk your hands forward, hinging from your hips, keeping a flat back as long as you can. And then when you can't go any further, take an inhale, come up a little bit, and exhale, just begin to fold forward, breathing into that low back, trying to release the tension in the low back. Inhale, come up a little bit, and exhale, fold. Take a few deep breaths here. See with each inhale, come up a little bit, and exhale, forward fold. And slowly walk your hands to center. And we're just going to bring the soles of our feet together to open up the hips. So for bound angle pose, bring the soles of your feet together and just roll out your arches. Your hands can be on your ankles or on your toes. And just begin to butterfly your knees out to the sides, opening up the hips. If it's uncomfortable with your feet close to your body, you can bring your feet out a little bit. And just butterfly them out to the sides, getting movement in the hips. And then bring your legs to stillness. Place your hands on your ankles. Ground down through your sit bones. Bring those shoulder blades back and down. Take your gaze slightly up. Your knees are still. And then on the exhale, just hinge from your hips and begin to forward fold. If you get halfway, stop there. Your gaze is down. Maybe pull your belly button in Engage your core. Try to lengthen the spine, reaching out through the crown of your head. Then slowly come back up to center. Then bring your knees in. And we're going to go onto all fours. We're going to go into tabletop. So just make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. Your hips are over your knees. Your feet are pressing into the mat. And extend that right foot back, going onto the ball of your foot. And just gently rock back and forth, loosening up that right calf. Working the foot, the ankle, the calf. And then come to stillness and raise that right leg level with that right hip. Working on balance, engage your core here. You can stay here, or you can extend your left arm out in front of you. Pressing that left foot into the mat, straight spine, gaze is down. You can stay here and work on balance, or you're inhaling and lengthening. You're pushing out through the heel, reaching out through your fingertips. And on the exhale, round your spine and bring your elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. You're matching your breath to your movement. You can work just on balance. You don't have to bring the elbow to knee. Wherever you're at is fine. If you're bringing your elbow to knee, make sure you're rounding your spine here. Rounding your back, bringing that elbow to knee, making room between you and the mat. And then bring your hand back down to the mat, your knee back down. Roll out that right wrist. And then extend your left foot back, going on to the ball of your foot, and just gently rock back and forth. Getting movement into your left foot. Press the top of that right foot into the mat and just gently rock back and forth. And then when you're ready, raise that left leg level with your left hip, pressing through that heel. Engage your core, pull your belly button in. You can stay here, or you can extend that right arm out in front of you, reaching out through your fingertips, pressing out through your heel. You can stay here and work on balance, or on the exhale, round your spine and bring your elbow to knee. So you're inhaling and lengthening. Exhale, elbow to knee. Working on balance. And then bring your hand back down to the mat, your knee back down, roll out that left wrist. Now we're going to take a few deep breaths in child's pose. So your big toes are overlapping, your knees are mat width apart. Shift your hips back towards your heels and slowly lower your torso down to the mat. Bringing your forehead down to the mat, your torso's between your knees. And just focus on your breath. If this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, you can bring your hands by your side, back behind you. Take a few deep breaths here. pose doesn't feel right or you want to take a break, you can always come into child's pose and focus on your breath, on your breathing. So we'll take a few deep breaths. Then we'll come back up to tabletop. Making sure your hips are over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. And just extend that right foot back, going onto the ball of your foot. And then take a deep inhale. You're pressing through the ball of that right foot. Take a deep inhale, raise your left arm up to the sky for a slight twist. Twists are really good for working on digestion. You have a straight line from your right hand to your left. Your gaze can be forward or looking up at that left hand. Engage your core here, press through the ball of that right foot. Then bring your hand back down, your knee back down, roll out that right wrist. And then extend your left foot back, going onto the ball of the foot, pressing that top of your right foot into the mat. And take a deep inhale, raise that right arm up to the sky. Straight line from your right hand to your left. Then bring your right hand back down to the mat. Bring your left knee back down to the mat. Roll out that left wrist. And now we're going to go into our first downward facing dog. So just flip your toes and lift your knees about 6 inches off the mat. You're engaging your thighs here, engage your core. Pull your belly button in. And then slowly shift your hips back towards your heels and begin to straighten your legs for the first downward facing dog. So you're pressing your hips high. You can pedal out your feet. Your head is between your arms. You can have a slight bending your knees. Maybe go up high on your toes and try to sink those heels down and press those hips up high. Take a few deep breaths here. And inhale, look up between your hands. And on that exhale, walk or step forward to a forward fold. So you can have a slight bending your knees. Hold opposite elbow to opposite hand. Sway from side to side. Then release your hands. And inhale, slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. And bring your hands overhead. And exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. We'll take a few deep breaths in Tadasana and mountain pose. So your feet are hip width apart, grounding down through all 4 corners of your feet. Palms are facing forward, shoulder blades back and down. Eyes can be opened or closed. And just bring your focus to your breath. We'll come to the front of our mat. And we're going to inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And take your gaze up for a slight back bend. And then turn your palms out, and with a flat back, exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Take a few deep breaths here. And inhale, slowly come back up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach half lift, flat back. Hands can be on your thighs or on your calves, whatever gives you that flat back. If they're on your thighs, press those hands into those thighs. Reaching out through the crown of your head, take a few deep breaths here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Now we're going to go into our sun salutation. Excuse me, I'm a little congested today. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Should have a flat back from your low back to the crown of your head. Now exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core here, pull your belly button in, shoulders over wrists, pushing through the ball of your feet. Make sure your pelvis doesn't drop down, you'll hurt your low back. You can come to your knees and flip your feet for a modified plank. Wherever you're at is fine. Flip your toes. Now with control, you can come to your knees first, or with control, keeping your elbows by your side, bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Flip your toes, press your palms into the mat, and come up for cobra. Opening the heart, pointing your toes back, lifting the chest, pressing your palms into the mat. Your gaze is forward. Take a few breaths here. Exhale back down to the mat. Flip your toes, push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale, look up between your hands. Exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up, hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core. Pull your belly button in. You can come to your knees if you want. Then with control, bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Flip your toes, press up for cobra. Shoulder blades are back and down. Lifting the heart. Exhale back down to the mat. Flip your toes, push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale, look up between your hands. Exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core, pull your belly button in. You can come to your knees. With control, bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Elbows stay close to your side. Flip your toes, press up for cobra. Exhale back down to the mat. Flip your toes, push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. three-legged dog. And then bend the knee, bring your knee in towards your chest, rock forward, and place that right foot between your hands. Slide your back foot back a little bit and drop that back knee. We're going to go into low lunge. So if you need a blanket for the back knee, you can put that there now. So we're going to come up, bring your hands onto your right thigh. Your hips are forward. Your right knee is stacked over your right ankle. Hips are pressed forward. Maybe rock a little bit. Feeling the hips pulsing forward. Back knee is slightly back. You're not on top of the knee like this. Hips are forward. Toes are pointed back. And we're just going to bring our arms to goalpost. Our shoulder blades are back. We're lifting our heart, opening the heart chakra. Take your gaze up. Engage your core here. You're engaging your thighs. And then when you're ready, raise your hands up for low lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. Then bring your hands to heart center. And we're just going to place our right hand next to that, or left hand, I'm sorry, next to that right foot. And on the inhale, just raise your right arm up to the sky. So you're turning towards that front leg. Your left hand is on the mat and your right hand's up towards the sky. Take a few deep breaths here. Then bring that right hand down to frame that front foot. Flip your back toes. Lift that back knee. Now we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So bring the right foot to meet the left. And we'll take a few deep breaths in downward facing dog. Then inhale, raise that left foot up and back for three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, bring that left knee in towards your chest, rock forward and place that left foot between your hands. So you can walk that foot between your hands, however you get there is fine. And then slide that back foot back, point your toes. You can put a blanket under that back knee. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to that left knee. Bring your hips forward. Make sure your knee is over that ankle. And then when you're ready, bring your arms to goalpost. Lifting the heart, take your gaze up for a slight back bend. Take a few deep breaths here. Then raise your arms up for low lunge. Engaging your thighs here, engage your core. Then bring your hands to heart center. Then place that right hand down on the mat and raise that left arm up towards the sky. Straight line from the right hand to the left. Take a few deep breaths here. Then bring the left hand down to frame that front foot. Flip your back toes, lift that back knee, and step back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Make sure your hips are high. Inhale, look up between your hands. Exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. We'll take a few deep breaths into Tadasana, mountain pose. Just focus on your breath. If you're warmed up now with the sun salutations and then doing the low lunges, on the exhale, exhale out through your mouth, which is a cooling breath. And slow your breathing down. And we're going to come to the front of our mat. Place your hands on your hips. And we're just going to step that left foot back. And then your toes are facing the left corner of the mat. We're going to go into warrior one. So your left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Put a bend in that right knee. Hips are forward. And then we're just going to bring our arms to goalpost. Take your gaze up, lift the heart. And then bring your hands up for warrior one. Strong warrior. Your front heel should be in alignment with your back heel, to give you an idea on how wide your legs should be. Hips are forward, strong warrior, strong arms, reach in through your fingertips. Your gaze can be forward or slightly up towards the sky. Engage your core. Then bring your hands to heart center. Now we're going to go into humble warrior, which is a great heart opener. So if it's uncomfortable to interlace your fingers behind your back, just place them on your low back. If you can interlace them, you're pressing your hands down, bringing those shoulder blades back and down, lifting your heart, and taking your gaze up. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, just begin to hinge forward from your hips and come alongside that front leg. It doesn't matter how far you go down. You don't want to lay on that front leg. You want to come alongside that front leg. You still have a bend in that front knee. You can raise your arms up as you're folding forward, or you can keep them on your low back, whichever's more comfortable for you. Take a few deep breaths here. Then slowly roll back up using your core. And then bring your hands to heart center. And now we're just going to go on to the ball of that back foot. We're going to go into high lunge. So you can press that foot back a little further. Whatever's comfortable. You have a bend in that front knee. Bring your arms to goalpost. Lift the heart. And then raise your hands up overhead for high lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. This is opening the front, your front, lengthening. Then bring your hands to heart center and step forward to Tadasana. Take a few deep breaths here. When you have a slight back bend, it's lengthening your solar plexus, your sacral. It's really lengthening the front of your body where we're always forward. If you do a little back bend, we never do that during the day. Normally we're always coming forward, so it's really good to get back bends into your day. So we're going to do the other side. Place your hands on your hips. And just step back with your right foot. Toes are at a 45-degree angle, facing the right corner of your mat. Hips are forward. Put a slight bend in that front knee. And we're going to go into warrior one. So bring your arms to goalpost. hips are forward, bend in that front knee, and then raise your arms up to the sky. And bringing your arms to goalposts first keeps your shoulders down so they're not up by your ears. You want to keep those shoulders away from your ears and just raise your arms up towards the sky. Take a few deep breaths here. And bring your hands to heart center and interlace your hands behind your back or place them on your low back. Bring those shoulder blades back and down. Take your gaze up, lift in the heart. And we're going to go into humble warrior. So take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, just begin to hinge forward from your hips, coming alongside that front leg. Maybe stop halfway and engage your core and pull that belly button in to see if you can forward fold a little more. Going alongside of that front leg, not laying on the front knee. You can lift your arms if they're interlaced. Lift them up. Take a few deep breaths here. And then inhale, slowly come back up to center. Release your hands, bring your hands to heart center. Go onto the ball of that back foot, pressing through the ball of that back foot. You might have to bring it, wiggle it back a little more. Make sure your spine is straight. Bend in that front knee. Bring your arms to goalposts, shoulder blades back and down. And then raise your arms up for high lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. To heart center and step forward to Tadasana. We'll take a few deep breaths here. And we're going to go down to the mat and we're going to get there through a squat pose through Malasana. So just have your feet either hip distance apart or a little wider. You want your toes facing out so your knees can follow your toes. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your palms together. Take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, just begin to bend your knees for squat. So wherever you're at is fine. If your heels begin to lift, stop there. If you get down to the mat, place your knees on the inside, your elbows on the insides of your knees, and see if you can open the hips a little more, and just breathe. And bring your hands down to the mat, and we'll come into staff pose with your legs out in front of you, slight bending your knees, your feet are flexed, ground down through your sit bones. We're going to go into a forward fold again to see if this forward fold is a little different than the beginning of practice. So take a deep inhale and lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, just begin to walk your hands forward for forward fold. Breathing into that low back. Each inhale, come up a little bit, and on the exhale, see if you can lengthen that spine to fold a bit more, letting your head get you deeper into the fold. Your knees are bent slightly, and just take a few deep breaths here. Slowly walk your hands back to center. And we're going to go down to the mat. And knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Now place your feet hip distance apart. Try to get your heels as close to your glutes as you can. And then tuck your shoulder blades under and your palms are flat on the mat next to you. And we're going to go into rolling bridge. So on the inhale, you want to keep your knees forward. You don't want them to fall out to the sides. So if you want to place a block or a blanket between your knees, you can do that now to keep pressing inward. If you don't need that, that's fine. Just be conscious that your knees don't fall out to the sides. So on the inhale, we're going to press the soles of our feet and our shoulders and palms into the mat. And lift your hips up towards the sky, squeezing your glutes. And then on the exhale, slowly lower back down to the mat. So match your breath to your movement on the inhale and exhale. Inhale, raise your hips up towards the sky. And exhale, lower back down to the mat. This is a great asana to work on your lower triangle chakras. This is really good for the solar plexus, for the sacral. Now next time your hips are up towards the sky, leave them there. And see if you can walk your feet towards your shoulders. Maybe go up on your toes. Really squeeze those glutes. Make sure your knees are forward. You can take a bind by interlacing your fingers behind your back. And just focus on your breath. Then release your hands. Go back to the soles of your feet and slowly lower back down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Now place your hands on your right knee, hugging that knee in towards your chest, and then extend that left foot up towards the sky. You can point and flex your foot, hugging that right knee in towards your right armpit, towards your chest, engaging your core. And then keep your left foot flexed and draw a line with your heel from the sky down towards the mat. When your leg gets about 6 inches off the mat, leave it there. And just engage your core. You're engaging that left leg and hugging the right leg in towards your chest. Take a few deep breaths here. And then slowly lower that left leg down to the mat. And then just make circles with that right knee, going one way and then going in the opposite direction. And then come to stillness. Extend your right arm out to the side. Place your left hand on the outside of that right knee. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, just bring that right knee across your body. Trying to bring that knee down to the mat, keeping your shoulder blades flat on the mat, and taking your gaze over your right fingertips. Take a few deep breaths here. If that knee doesn't come to the mat, bring maybe your foot to the mat. Feeling the stretch in that right hip. Then slowly come back up to center and hug both knees into your chest and rock from side to side. And then place your hands on the left knee, hugging that in towards your chest. Extend your right foot up towards the sky. Point and flex your right foot. Feeling the stretch in the calf. And then keep that right foot flexed, pressing through your heel. Draw a line from your heel, from the sky, down towards the mat. Still pressing through that heel as you're bringing that right leg down. When it's about 6 inches from the mat, leave it there. You're engaging the core, hugging that left knee in towards your chest. Take a few deep breaths here. Then slowly lower the right leg down to the mat. Extend your left arm out to the side. Place your right hand on the outside of that left knee. And take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, just bring that knee across your body, rolling onto that right hip. Maybe get your foot onto the mat, keeping your shoulder blades flat on the mat, and take your gaze over your left hand. So you're bringing that left knee across your body and rolling onto that right hip. Then come back up to center, hug your knees into your chest, and rock from side to side. Now we're going to go into Happy Baby. So bend your knees towards your chest. Soles of your feet are facing the sky. You can hold the outsides of your feet or your big toes for Happy Baby. Your knees or your elbows are inside your knees. And you can just rock from side to side if you're comfortable with that. Or you can stay still. You're pressing your feet into your hands. You're feeling the stretch in the thighs, pressing through your hands, and the soles of your feet are facing the sky. And then hug your knees into your chest, and just place the soles of your feet together for a reclined bound angle pose. So the soles of your feet are together and your knees are falling out to the sides of the mat. And then have your arms away from your body with your palms facing up. And just gently close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Feeling your belly rise and fall on the inhale and exhale. Now you can stay in this pose for Shavasana, or for Shavasana you can extend your legs out long on the mat. Let your feet fall out to the corners of the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades under. And just gently close your eyes. Relax your body. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Shavasana helps strengthen the crown. It connects you with your external self, your soul, and it reminds you of where you came from and where you'll go. This is our last chakra, working on the crown of the head. Focusing on yourself, your being, your spirituality. Connecting you with your inner self. If this is blocked, you feel disconnected, maybe numb to your feelings. And just focus on your breath. Relaxing your forehead. Relax your eyes. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your shoulders, your upper arms, your forearms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Relax your chest, your abdomen, your hips. Relax the front of your thighs, your knees, your shins. Relax your ankles, the tops of your feet, all the way to the tips of your toes. Relax the soles of your feet, the backs of your calves, the backs of your thighs. Relax your low back, mid back, and upper back. Relax the back of your shoulders, the back of your neck, all the way to the crown of your head. Continue your breath past the crown of your head, all the way past the tips of your toes, a continuous flow of air. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and move your head from side to side, putting movement back in the body. And when you're ready, roll on to your favorite side. Come up to seated position with your hands at heart center, your thumbs at your sternum. Slate bow to your head. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed the root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakra. It's where we start with our grounding and we end with our spirituality through Shavasana. We grow and we learn through our practice each day. It is a process, it is a journey, and thank you for sharing your journey with me today. today. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the series of the 7 chakras. If you have any questions, please send us a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Have a great day. Namaste.